Today I'm going to show you how to attach a clasp to a crocheted yarn chain when making a pendant necklace. The video I showed yesterday shows how to crochet the chain. That video will be in the description if you need to go back and watch it. It's actually very simple. Depending on what kind of yarn you're using, you'll usually want to use at least 2 strands. This is what 2 strands looks like with regular worsted weight acrylic yarn. And this is what 2 strands looks like with ladder yarn. I like to use 3 strands when using a bigger pendant like this one, and this is what the 3 strands looks like. Either way, you're going to put the strands together and then chain crochet until you get to the desired length of your necklace. Keep in mind the chain may stretch a little bit if the pendant is a little bit heavy. The one I showed you yesterday is just tied in a knot, so it has to be long enough to go over your head. With this one, you can make it a little bit shorter because you have that clasp that you can use to take it on and off. So now that you have your chain crocheted to the desired length, you can put on your pendant. And you want to see, if you have one that is a one-sided pendant, you'll want to have that one facing up when you do this. And then you're going to take one ribbon crimp and put it underneath the end of your chain, and you want to have the loop on the ribbon crimp facing towards the end of the chain. And you want to have it set just underneath that knot. And then you want to flatten out all these strands of yarn and just hold it there with your fingers. You're going to take your pliers and you're just going to squeeze these 2 flaps in just a little bit, not all the way. Just like that. So now that you have a little bit of a bend to them, it's easier to fold down. So then you can take one side and fold it down, and take the other side and fold that down. And then you just want to squeeze it all together real tight. Then you can do the same thing on the other side. Now you're ready to trim off these ends. So you can trim them close to your ribbon crimp as you can. So now you want to make sure you're going to put your lobster clasp on the correct side. So let's say this is the front side of my pendant. So you're just going to lay it out like that, and you probably want it on the right side. That's how normally necklaces are. But if you want it on the left side, that's okay too. So I'm going to put it on the right side. So I'm going to take one of my jump rings and my lobster clasp. I'm going to put the jump ring through the loop on my ribbon crimp, and then put the lobster clasp through that jump ring. And then I'm going to close this up, but I'm also going to overlap this because this loop on the ribbon crimp is very, very skinny, if you can see that. It's very thin, so I don't want my jump ring to slide through that. So I'm just going to overlap it when I close it up. So I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to kind of push it in just a little bit. This can be a little bit tricky, but as you get practice, you can do it. And then since it's overlapped just a little bit, I'm going to take this and just squeeze it together like that. And then I can also take those 2 and squeeze them together a little bit more. And there you go. And then I'm going to do the same thing on that other side, except I'm just going to take these jump rings, and you can either put another jump ring on there or you can put an extender chain. So I think I'm going to do the extender chain on this one. And I also want to overlap that one too. Just kind of push it together. So another way to finish off your pendant necklace is to use these cord ends instead of the ribbon crimps. And I'll show you how to do that real quick. So you're going to take your crochet chain and then pull the ends tight. You want to have like a little knot at the end. So you just kind of pull it and make sure it's all the way pulled down. And it forms a little knot. And do the same on the other side. And then you can cut these little ends here. And then before you put on your cord ends, you want to put your pendant on. And then take one of your cord ends and use the Beacon 527 glue. And use this in a well-ventilated area. And then you want to fill this end cap about halfway full. Got a little bubble there. And you just slide in the end like this. And then you can use a scissors or a pen or something just to poke it in there all the way. And then do the same on the other side. And then you want to wait at least 2 hours for this to dry. And once it's dry, you can put on your lobster clasp and your extender chain or just a jump ring on the other side. And then you'll have a finished necklace. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to see more crochet jewelry tutorials with Trellis Ladder Yarn, click on the playlist here. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.